Well, dear learners, good afternoon. I, Professor Sunil Kumar from School of Management, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all in this session on ledger. Well, dear learners, we have already studied about journal. So now you have been quite familiar what actually the journal is all about and for what purpose the journal is maintained. Therefore, the next step in the books of account is ledger. Therefore, the first step of recording the business transaction in the books of account is journal, that we have already discussed, and today we will discuss the second step, that is ledger. So now the question arises, what actually the ledger is all about. So let's see. Ledger implies the principal books of accounts. So why do we call it principal books of accounts? Because as you all might be well aware that journal is known as book of original entry. Why? Because the transactions are recorded first in the journal, their description is recorded, and this description is what we call narration. So with the help of this description, or what we call it narration, we can easily come to know about the transaction, that what for this transaction is meant for. Therefore, the ledger implies the principal books of accounts wherein all accounts, that is personal, real and nominal, are maintained. So after recording the transaction in the journal, the transactions are classified and grouped as per their title, and so all the transactions of similar type are put in a particular account. Say for example, if the transactions are related to purchase, then all transactions which are related to purchase will be recorded in purchase book. Therefore, all the transactions which are recorded and which are pertaining to sales will be recorded in sales book. Therefore, the transactions which are of similar type will be recorded at one place. Therefore, this ledger is a book where the transactions of similar type are recorded at one place. The transactions which are related to purchase will be recorded at one place. The transactions which are related to sales will be recorded at one place, and so on and so forth. Then the next one is format of ledger. So what is the actual format of ledger we'll discuss today, as we have already discussed about the format of journal. So in format of journal, we had discussed about the date, particulars, LF, debit amount and credit amount. So that LF stands for ledger folio. It means that particular transactions which is recorded in the book of original entry. It means the transactions which is recorded in the journal. So this transaction is recorded at which page number of that particular ledger. So this is what we call LF, ledger folio, that this particular transaction has been shifted at what page number in ledger. So a ledger account is T-shaped, having two sides, that is left hand side and right hand side, wherein the left part of the account represents the debit side, whereas the right part of the account is the credit one. Both the sides consist of 4 columns, as you can see in the specimen below. So this is the format of ledger account. So in the left hand side, that is debit side, there are 4 columns. The first one is date column, second one is particulars. So in this particular, the detail of that transaction is recorded. Then JF, journal folio. It means that this particular transaction which is transferred from journal into ledger, so from which page number of journal this transaction has been shifted is what we call journal folio and amount. So this way we see that in the left hand side, that is the debit side of the ledger, there are 4 columns. First one is date column, second one is particulars, third one is JF, that is journal folio, fourth one is amount. Likewise, in the right hand side, that is the credit side of the journal, credit side of the ledger, again the date column, particulars column, JF and amount. So likewise, in the debit side and in the credit side, we have 4 columns each. That is, in the debit side we have 4 columns, we have 4 columns in the credit side as well. So this is the format of the ledger account. Then format of ledger. So in continuation with that, we will discuss the different items which are the part of the ledger. The first one is, here briefly explain the simple format of the ledger. Each ledger account is divided into 2 parts. The left hand side is known as debit side and the right hand side is known as credit side. The words DR stand for debit and CR stands for credit are used to denote debit and credit. The name of the account is mentioned in the top of the account, like purchase account or sales account. So the name of the account is mentioned in the top of the account, in the middle of the top of the account. The date of the transaction is recorded in the date column. So first of all, in the first column, which is meant for date column, so the date of the transaction is recorded. It means the date on which the transactions was recorded will be written. Then the next one is, the word to is used before the accounts which appear on the debit side of an account in the particulars column. Similarly, the word by is used before the accounts which appear on the credit side of an account in that particular column. Well friends, when we talk about the debit and credit side, yes, of course, while writing in the debit side of that particular ledger account, we generally use the word to in the particulars column and we generally use the word by while writing the transaction in the credit side of that particular account in the particular column. The page number of the journal or subsidiary book from where that particular entry is transferred is entered in the journal folio column. Well friends, as I have already told you that the transactions which is shifted from journal, so what page number, on what page number this journal transactions is recorded in the journal is recorded in the JF, that is journal folio. So in the same way you might have seen that in the book of original entry, that is in the journal book, there was a column LF, it means ledger folio. So the purpose of JF and LF is that while recording the business transactions in book of original entry, that is in journal, we write LF, that these transactions which we are recording in the book of original entry, so these transactions will be reflected on so and so page number of ledger folio. Likewise in ledger we write JF, journal folio, that which page number of journal this transaction has been shifted and has been written in the ledger account. Then the amount pertaining to this account is entered in the amount column. Then the amount is recorded in the debit side or in the credit side, as the case may be, in the column of amount. So there are two columns of amount, in the debit side also and in the credit side as well. So like we can see here, we have three types of accounts, as we have already discussed, that we have personal accounts, we have real accounts, we have nominal accounts. So as far as the personal accounts are concerned, well friends, I have already told you that personal accounts are related to the persons. Persons may be natural person or artificial person or representative personal account. So as far as the personal accounts are concerned, in the debit side you might be seeing here that Santosh, when he receives goods, money or value from the business. Then credit Santosh when he gives goods. So the rule of the personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So in the debit side, Santosh, when he received the goods, therefore it has been recorded in the debit side of Santosh account. Or in the credit side, Santosh, when he gives the goods, so the rule is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So when Santosh is giving something, so he is the giver, therefore his account must be credited. So therefore in the credit side of Santosh account, we will write the money or value to the business. Then the real accounts. So well friends, as far as the real accounts are concerned, so we have already discussed about the real accounts. So again, real accounts are of two types, that is tangible. In real accounts we have all sort of assets. So account of all the assets comes under a real account. Now the assets are of two types, that is tangible assets and intangible assets. So here tangible assets are those assets which we can see, which we can touch. But as far as the intangible assets are concerned, intangible assets cannot be seen, intangible assets cannot be touched. The example of tangible and intangible assets are like example of tangible assets. So furniture we can see, we can touch, therefore the furniture is a tangible asset. Land we can see, land we can touch, so land is a tangible asset. As far as the intangible assets are concerned, intangible assets can only be seen, intangible assets cannot be seen and intangible assets cannot be touched. So intangible assets can only be felt. For example, goodwill. So goodwill is no doubt an asset to the business. Since goodwill cannot be seen, goodwill cannot be touched, therefore goodwill is an intangible asset. So any asset which cannot be seen, which cannot be touched is called intangible asset, but intangible assets can be felt. Likewise, tangible assets. Tangible assets can be seen, tangible assets can be touched. For example, plant, machine, furniture, land, building. So these are the few examples of tangible assets which can be seen and which can be touched. Then the nominal accounts. So as far as the nominal accounts are concerned, so nominal accounts are related to the expenses, losses, revenue and gains. So here we will discuss the accounts which are related to the expenses or the accounts which are related to the income. Say for example, salaries account. So salary for a business is an expense. Therefore, this account of salaries will come under nominal account. And commission received account. So if the business has received commission, so this is an income for the business. So any account which is related to the expenses and any account which is related to the income are the part of the nominal account. So here you can see that as far as the expenditure accounts are concerned or the expenses account is concerned, like salaries account, which is an expense for the business. So well friends, all the expenses have the debit balance. All expenses and losses will have the debit balance. Therefore, as you are observing that in the debit side of salaries account, debit expenses or losses. Well friends, as I have discussed with you that in nominal accounts, accounts related to the expenses and losses and accounts related to the revenue and gains are recorded. So here the expenses which are related to the expenses and losses will have only debit balance. Therefore, such transactions are recorded only in the debit side of that particular expenses. Likewise, commission received accounts. So commissions is an income for the business. So any account which is pertaining to the revenue or gains are also comes under nominal account, and the accounts which are pertaining to the revenues and gains will have the credit balance. Therefore, all the accounts which are related to the revenue and gains will have a credit balance and will always be recorded in the credit side of that particular account. So this is all about that how the journal are prepared as far as the personal, real and nominal accounts are concerned. Now the next one is how to write and prepare ledger account. It's quite simple, that drawing the form, jet, pen and paper, starts drawing the ledger account. The left side of it is the debit side and the right side is the credit side. So well, dear learners, we have already discussed about the debit side and about the credit side. So the left hand side of any account is known as debit side and the right hand side of the account is known as credit side. Then posting transactions from journal to respective ledger account. Then the second step is that these transactions which are recorded first in the book of original entry, that is journal, are posted into the concerned ledger account. A debit account of the journal is posted on the debit side of that account and the credit account of the journal is posted on the credit side of that account. Say for example, if in the book of original entry, if there is any transaction which is related to the cash purchase, so what journal entry is recorded in the journal while we make a purchase on the basis of cash? So the journal entry which will be recorded in the book of original entry is purchases account debit to cash. So here purchase account has been debited. So when in the ledger, when we will prepare the purchase account, so in the debit side of purchase account we will write to cash and in the cash account we will write in the credit side by purchases. So this way the transactions which are recorded in the journal are posted into the respective ledger account. A debit account of the journal is posted on the debit side and the credit account of that journal is posted on the credit side of that account. Then the following, here what we do is that put the page number for a journal entry, that the journal entry which was recorded in the book of original entry, that is in journal, at what page number it has been recorded in the ledger. So put page number for a journal entry on the ledger accounts folio column. Then casting, so separate debit and credit amount. Castings mean totaling. So we have to make a total of the debit side and we have to make the total of the credit side. This way totaling of debit and credit is called casting. Then balancing, find the difference between debit and credit to get debit or credit balance of that account. So after making the total of debit side and credit side, so either the debit side will be in excess than the credit side or vice versa. So if the debit side is in excess than the credit side, then that particular account will have a debit balance, and if the credit side is more than the debit side, then that particular account will have the credit balance. Thereafter the amount of difference is added in the deficit side to equalize both the sides. For example, we have a cash account and in the debit side of cash account there is one transaction, say for example 2 purchases 20,000, and in the credit side, say for example in the credit side of the cash account we have only one transaction, that is by wages. So by wages 5,000. So in the debit side we have a total of 20,000. In the credit side we have a total of 5,000. So this way, after making the total of debit and credit side, we find that the credit side of the cash account is in deficit by 15,000. So now this cash account will have a debit balance because the debit side is more than the credit side by rupees 15,000, because in the debit side of the cash account there was one transactions of rupees 20,000, and in the credit side there was one transactions which was of 5,000. So this difference is what we call the debit or credit balance. So if the total of debit side is more, that particular account will have a debit balance, and if the total of the credit side is more, then that particular account will have a credit balance. And this way, after writing the difference in that particular deficit side, the total of both the debit and credit side is a resembled of that particular account. Then subdivision of ledger. So the ledger is subdivided into two major categories, that is personal ledger. So in personal ledger we have different types of accounts that records detail of every transactions about the persons concerned with the accounting unit. First one is debtors ledger. So debtors are the person to whom goods are sold on credit. So it includes the account of individual. Trade debtors of the entity are covered in this category. Then the creditors ledger. So creditors are the persons or the firms from whom the firm has purchased the goods on credit. So it encompasses the account of individual, trade creditors of the business enterprise. Then the second one is impersonal ledger. So under impersonal ledger there are different types of accounts, like this ledger records all the entries relating to the assets, liabilities, income and expenses. It means accounts which are related to the real and nominal will come under impersonal ledger, and under personal ledger only accounts of persons are included, like cash book. So it is the book that contains all the cash and bank transactions. The next one is general ledger. So the ledger in which all the entries with respect to real and nominal accounts are concerned. It is known as the general ledger. It is further divided into two categories. Then the nominal ledger, the ledger accounts relating to income such as sales, rent received account, and expenses such as wages account, salaries account, purchase accounts are covered. Subdivision of ledger, last point is private ledger, the ledger in which entries concerned with assets and liabilities are entered is called private ledger. It means the transactions which are related to the balance sheet, that is assets and liabilities, is what we called private ledger. So this was all about today's lecture, today's discussion. So I hope that this lecture might have made the learners very clear about this topic, and I extend my best wishes for the learners who have listened this lecture very carefully. Wish you all the best.